What's up? What's up? I know I've been missing the action, but the truth is, I didn't want to sound like the rest of these people that was just instantly jumping out, talking about the Europeans that stormed the United States Capitol, and then we got stuff going on here in Chicago where you're just seeing that these two parties really no different. But I know what you want to hear. Jay Pillar, what do you feel about the Europeans storming the Capitol? I would say, I'm not surprised. I told people the whole time that the Democratic machine, which we in Chicago know well of as so-called black people, we know well about this machine. And so you're talking about career politicians against a guy who's a career businessman. He's not going to beat them. They know all the tricks in the book. It's like a hooper can't beat the greatest hooper can't beat the greatest football player, but they both great, right? And so as I see them storm the Capitol, it's like that's how they always have been. The surprise is you not knowing that because you don't read and study. And people say, "Oh, they look how they treat them. They all on the same team. Of course, they're going to treat them different. They the 13 colonies. They got jerseys on. You took your jersey off trying to throw their jersey on, and they let you know that they don't even mess with you like that. And so I told people I expect something like that. Wouldn't be surprised if they pull it the next 4 or 5 times as we go into 2021. But our focus is not them, because why they like that? This is the 100th anniversary of Black Wall Street, man, of being burned down. And they go out and they do something like that. That should just tell you something. That's how they did Black Wall Street. Now you saw it in living color 100 years later. That was the ancestors, man. Look, this is how they get down. And like I said, I don't get overly upset or mad at them in that way. What I do is, I just let it be known that I know the world history. Cause it don't take for them to do that for me to be upset. I'm still upset about Emmett Till getting murdered. I'm still upset about hearing about the black ladies that got killed on the yes we Moors, the nationality is Moor. They got killed on the plantation or raped. The hanging, the people who were just lost in history because of this brutal violence. And so if they storm the Capitol, I'm not upset. I'm just saying, hey, shit, bring it here. Because you slaughtered my ancestors. Oh, that's who did it to my ancestors. You and these Democrats, but that's how it went down. So for me, it's like, oh, Nate, listen, man. And then you in Chicago and you got people like Lori Lightfoot. I don't know what's up with the lady. I've been touching on her more and more, but it's clear that she ran as a progressive, but she is a regular corporate Democrat. I was reading an article yesterday. It was like how she ran on elected school board, and she told them, "Oh, don't do that yet. Let me do this." Like this is Barack Obama type stuff. And I think if you don't get ahead of her, that the worst of her will come out. I think she needs a check and balance because, first of all, she's not a politician like that. She's a prosecutor. And she needs us to help let her know this is what this is about. And just the same way we telling Biden, hey, Lori Lightfoot, all the other stuff, this is what we want. Yeah, of course we want our kids in school, but don't front like they're getting taught their true world history in school is what we're saying. It's no new air conditioners in them schools. The floors are still look dull in color and dry. So, and then somebody said, hey, they don't got the sanitizers in these schools. I'm like, wow, I go in these schools, they got these old sanitizers, nothing modern. And so, like I say, as we go forth, I'm not surprised. I'm just like, hey, that's how they get down. That's why I told you this shit is about the 100-year burn of Black Wall Street. How they burnt that down and got away with it. And I heard we did rebuild it. But just the fact that they did that and there was no money really got back from that, we should be having a monumental celebration if that wasn't destroyed in the manner that it was this year. We should be heading down there, sending money there. And so, you know, these are my thoughts. And if we can um be honest about ourselves, you know, it's gonna be some more stuff cracking. Let's just keep it 100. It's gonna be some more stuff cracking. So, and I think they're gonna head your way, black people, because you don't show them no fear, is what I would tell you. And the reason why is because you have been battling them for thousands since they came on this planet, and they wanted a little bit more than what they felt they deserved. And like I say, they gonna bring it, and you just gotta bring it. They gonna bring their A game, you bring your A game. And I think what you need not to do is get so emotionally tied up in just regular competition. That's all the people like so and so white, and they talk about the white codes and all that. It's all a team sport competition. They competing to get the best out of what they claim to be, and we need to do the same thing. And and look, as you defeat your opponent, you 9 times out of 10, unless they were just so out of order and vulgar, you'll still have some respect for them for just wanting to compete. And so as I look at them, it's like, look at that. But that's what they own, and that's why I tell people all the time about Trump is they created Trump. Democrats and Republicans. You created him because the history you got going the history you got going on in the schools, which is all a lie, is why the man feels so emboldened and confident. If you wasn't making up lies about people being brought here on a slave ship and them being so docile, right? All these lies you created, he wouldn't feel so empowered. So he's a product of your lies. That's why he lied so much, because everything you taught him in school, you taught us in school, was a lie. That's one of the reasons they're trying to rush people back in schools, because the lies wearing off. There's some people that's not going back to work. Because why? They left work and started doing e-commerce. And like, wait a minute, man, I've been slaving this whole time. Doing e-commerce for the same company they were slaving for. And said, wait, no, I'd rather have this position than that position. So they gotta rush you back into these schools, because this is how they manifest you believed in they lie. That's why I tell people all the time, those are not, especially in our community, those are not schools. Those are Negro manufacturing plants. Now, some people do come out good, and I'm not saying people like totally brainwashed and zombied out. What I'm saying is you've been socialized. First of all, you've been socialized out of yourself. How come the church and the school is not connected? Actually, why the mosque and the school ain't connected like that? How come you're getting there? You go to religion thing, they say, hey, this is the world history truth. But then you go to school, it's like they talking about all these other things. And then they get all locked in this little small time period. Because I was laughing one time I was at school. Like I said, I got a bachelor's in world history, but I know more than a person with a PhD in history, right? Because I don't need no degree. I knew more than a person with a PhD in history before I even got my bachelor's. Because I'm just a person that like to read and travel. You just can't read. You got to travel and touch stuff. And like I said, I went back to school, thank the ancestors. I'm like, oh, this is where my community messed up, because you're being taught, like, I was laughing, in the history books, it's going like, oh man, the Christians were fighting the Muslims. They say Muslims Moors, right? And then they just had that in your book, and everything else about how it's a slave trade. They just took you, and now you're in America. Now you just in America. You've been getting whooped for 600 years. Nothing about the Barbary Wars. Nothing about how we fought back to 1609 in Spain. All this is just ripped out of the books. Nothing about how we already in America. Nothing about how we really balling in Africa with Mansa Musa. All this is torn out. Torn. Then they show you these little TPs and it makes like everybody was little grassland fields. Europeans are crazy, man. They are crazy. And you wholeheartedly, you believe all that. And then you come out, talk to you Negroes. You believe all this stuff they told you. It's a lie. And then you got the nerve to come out and act like you talk with your own people in the neighborhood. That's how you know brainwash. Why would I be tough to somebody in my neighborhood once I realize that my people are getting brainwashed and it's all a lie? I gotta wake them up and get them out of that socialization. Cause how are you a gangbanger and you own nothing? How are you gangbanger and you a savage and you don't own that one house in the community you claim you tough in? But soon as the little European cop run up on you running, oh, come out 12. People don't even believe that stuff, man. The Europeans have to promote that to make people think, look how stupid they look. They savages. You out here acting crazy. Oh, I'm wild. Shooting at unarmed people like you a European. Come on, man. Like, stop believing the lie. That's why certain people they don't put on TV or interview. People who's gonna question, that's gonna bring certain questions to the table that's gonna stir the pots. They gonna want you to believe that, oh, look, let's bring this well. Look, that's like on ESPN. They're gonna say, let's bring Lil Wayne up here. That's why I tell you, look at Skip Bayless. Look, go watch Skip Bayless again. I keep telling you, the man has a very uncomfortable thing really criticizing bad racist Europeans when they do something in the United States. He kept trying to make it like, oh, I heard Shannon looking like, yeah, and they did it because they was white. And Skip like, no, I don't care if they wasn't white, nothing. It didn't matter what color. They just did it. It's like, because it's Trump. I keep telling you about your boy. Now, is he a good sports? Yeah. I like listen Skip. But when it comes to that racial stuff, until you get somebody to check him and expose what he's truly dealing with, talking about he friends with Jerry Jones. Like Joe Biden talking about Mitch McConnell, his best friend. Trump. Mitch McConnell closer to Joe Biden than you. You get hustled, man. They all hustle together. And I'm going to get my money too. My nationality is more with the Treaty of 1786, when we recognized the United States, us of Morocco, us Moors. And I'm going to act like that. I'm going to act like the people who was in America when they first got here too. And the people who they know as Mansa Musa and the ancient Kemites. I am me. Okay? And so, because people was like, how you national yourself? You just be it, man. Just press the button, say the stuff, walk the walk. Test yourself. So, as I look at the Capitol, I'm not surprised. What, do you want me to quote? Do you want me to quote something? I know who I'm dealing with. And I ain't trying to say all of them like that, but I'm talking about what Europeans have wrote themselves about European history. We could go there without having to, hurt anybody's feelings. But let me see. Let me go to because I was reading this book the other day. I think you check it out. It's The Story of the Moors in Spain by Stanley Lane Poole. Right? So let's see. I'm just going to show you I'm going to read something to you that I post so that we can get some clarity on who you're dealing with. And also, got to say, January 1st just passed. No, this is all history when we surrendered the Alhambra to the Europeans as the Europeans were wearing our clothes. So when you watch this stuff about Queen Isabella and Ferdinand, some of my arch enemies, right? Who really, you got to study their history. Castile and Aragon, they wearing our attire. That's our stuff they got on, and you best believe we will be wearing that stuff again, just to let it be known. All right, okay. Now let's see. Just want to show you how the games are being played. Look, Okay, this is a book called The Story of the Moors in Spain by Stanley Lane Poole. Now, I don't got no pages on it, right? And so I'm just going to say it's something about in medieval Europe. It says, in medieval Europe, forbade washing as a heathen custom, and the monks and the nuns boasted of their filthiness. in so much that a lady saint recorded with pride the fact that, oh, 1 second, the fact that up to the age of 60, she never washed any part of her body except the tips of her fingers when she was going to take the mass, while dirt was the characteristic of Christian sanctity, and the Muslims were careful in the most minute particulars of cleanliness, and dared not approach their God until their bodies were purified. When Spain had at last been restored to Christian rulers, Philip II, the husband of our English Queen Mary, ordered the destruction of all public baths on the ground that they were relics of infidelity. Now, I gotta make a move because that's the money calling, but I will touch back in with y'all. But study those who took you out of history, and I'm pretty sure you'll be surprised. Also, check out my music video, "The Medicine," featuring my man He Real. And man, expect a lot more projects to come out this year. All right, I love y'all. We winning, baby.